The slam of the bathroom door was like a gunshot in Emily's ears. She froze, her backpack sliding off her shoulder, the zipper catching on her sweater. The room smelled faintly of bleach and mildew, and the hum of a flickering light above buzzed in her head like an alarm. 3 boys stood between her and the only way out. Derek, tall and broad-shouldered for a 16-year-old, crossed his arms, a grin spreading across his face. Behind him were Marcus and Tyler, shadows that laughed whenever Derek laughed, barked whenever he barked. Well, Derek said, his voice dripping with mockery. Look what wandered into our bathroom. The little mouse. Emily's chest rose and fell rapidly. She wasn't supposed to be here. This wasn't her world. She didn't belong in this tiled cage, but they had pushed her in, cornered her, laughing as if it were just another joke. But something inside Emily shifted that day. For the first time, she didn't feel like prey. Emily's life before this moment. Emily lived in a modest 2-bedroom house on the edge of town with her grandmother, Ruth. The paint was peeling on the outside walls, and the roof leaked when the rain came hard. But inside, there was warmth, a cluttered kitchen filled with the smell of cinnamon tea, a living room with blankets Ruth knitted herself, and a small bedroom where Emily kept her sketchbooks stacked like treasure. Her parents were ghosts in her life. She didn't even remember her mother, who left before Emily was old enough to walk. Her father was a faded signature on old letters Ruth never threw away. It was Ruth who raised her, who told her bedtime stories and wiped her tears after hard days at school. Ruth, with her tired hands and kind eyes, was the reason Emily kept going. But even Ruth couldn't shield her from what waited at school. The teasing had started small. A few comments about her thrift store clothes, the way her shoes had duct tape on the soles. Then came the crueler remarks. The ones that cut deeper. Why do you always look like you're lost? Hey Mouse, squeak for us. The nickname stuck. Mouse. Small, quiet, fragile. She tried to make herself invisible, to slip through hallways without drawing attention. But invisibility only made her an easier target. Her sketchbook was her escape. She poured herself into drawings, fantastical worlds of color, heroes with wings, warriors with swords, girls who could fight dragons with their bare hands. She drew what she wished she could be. But even that was taken from her. Once, Derek had grabbed her sketchbook in the cafeteria, flipping through the pages with exaggerated disgust before tearing one out and crumpling it. What is this junk? Baby cartoons, he had laughed, tossing it into his mashed potatoes. The cafeteria roared with laughter. Emily had sat there frozen, her cheeks burning. At home, she picked up the pieces quietly. But that night, Ruth had noticed her swollen eyes. Emily, her grandmother had said softly, you can't let them decide who you are. Easier said than done. The day everything changed. That rainy Tuesday started like any other. Emily walked to school under an umbrella with a hole in it, water dripping onto her shoulder. Her backpack felt heavy, not from books, but from dread. Classes blurred together. She doodled in the margins of her notebook, hiding behind her hair. After the final bell, most students rushed out, eager to escape. Emily stayed behind in the art room, finishing her project, a charcoal sketch of a girl standing on a mountain with lightning in her hands. When she finally packed up, the hallways were nearly empty. She walked quickly, clutching her backpack. But then voices. Mouse. Hey, Mouse. Her heart sank. She knew that voice. Derek. She tried to walk faster, but footsteps echoed behind her. Where you going? We just want to talk, he called, mock innocence lacing his words. Suddenly, she felt a shove from behind. Her balance tipped, and before she knew it, she stumbled through a doorway. The door slammed. The boys' bathroom. And she was trapped. The confrontation. Derek leaned against the sink, his friends flanking him. You're awfully quiet today, Mouse, he said. What? No squeaks. Marcus kicked over a trash can, the loud crash making Emily flinch. Tyler laughed. Her breath quickened. The walls felt like they were closing in. Her palms were sweaty, her throat dry. For a split second, she saw herself curling up, crying, begging them to let her out. That's what they wanted. That's what they expected. But then, she remembered her grandmother's voice, "You can't let them decide who you are." And something in her snapped. Emily straightened her back. For the first time, she didn't stare at the floor. She lifted her chin and looked Derek in the eyes. Her voice shook, but she forced the words out. "You think I'm scared of you?" The boys blinked. They weren't used to her speaking back. Derek smirked, but there was hesitation in his eyes. "What are you gonna do, Mouse? Draw me to death?" Laughter. But Emily didn't move backward. She moved forward. Her hand shot to the broken mop handle propped against the wall. She gripped it tightly, raising it like a staff. Her chest was pounding, but her eyes burned like fire. "I'm not your toy," she said, her voice steady now. "Touch me again, and you'll regret it." The laughter died. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Derek." But Derek wasn't laughing anymore. He tried to keep his smirk, but Emily had taken a step closer, the mop handle steady in her grip. There was no fear in her now. Just defiance. And that terrified him. "Come on, man, let's just go," Tyler muttered. Derek's jaw tightened. For a moment, pride battled with fear. But when Emily narrowed her eyes, daring him, he broke. Without another word, he shoved past his friends and stormed out. The others followed, their footsteps echoing. Her art teacher noticed. "Emily, your work has fire," she said one afternoon, holding up Emily's sketch of the girl with lightning. "Where does this come from?" Emily smiled faintly. "From not being afraid anymore. New challenges." But courage didn't erase struggle. Emily still came home to an empty fridge sometimes. Ruth's health was getting worse, her hands trembled when she carried plates at the diner. At school, some kids still whispered. Some mocked quietly. And Emily still carried the scar of every insult, every shove. But she also carried something else, proof that she wasn't powerless. She joined the art club, where for the first time, she found friends who shared her passion. She poured herself into her drawings, creating entire worlds that reflected her journey. During the annual art exhibition, her work caught the eye of a local artist who offered to mentor her. It was a glimmer of hope, a door opening to a future she never imagined. The return. Years passed. Emily grew. She became a professional artist, her work displayed in galleries. But she never forgot that bathroom. That moment when she decided she was done being small. When her old school invited her back as a guest speaker, she stood on stage in front of hundreds of students, some who looked just like she once did, quiet and afraid. She told them her story. About the bullying. The bathroom. The mop handle. The choice she made that day. And she ended with words that hushed the entire auditorium. Strength doesn't come from size. It comes from courage. It comes from deciding you are worth standing up for. And when you choose courage over fear, no bully in the world can touch you. The crowd erupted. And in the back row, a shy student with tears in their eyes whispered, "If she can do it, maybe I can too." Call to action for viewers. Friends, if Emily's story touched your heart, I want to hear from you. Have you ever faced a bully? Have you ever found the courage to stand up for yourself or someone else? Share your story in the comments, I read every single one. And if you believe in kindness, in courage, and in stories that inspire, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message today. This is your friend from Be Kind Always. Remember, no matter how small you feel, you are never powerless. Stay strong. Stay kind. And always, be kind always.